Welcome to the Death of the Author podcast, episode 8. Your world this week in the teen fiction universe and general geekery. You're here with Alexandra, aficionado of all things nerdy and obscure. And me, Chelsea, writer of many unfinished things and general story connoisseur.
Hello!
So, this is the podcast for the weeks of January 18th to the 31st. Woohoo! So we kind of missed a week. We took an extended vacation in January. We kind of just looked at each other and was like, is it time yet?
Nope. Too many things to do, too many things to read.
But here we are. It is the middle of January and the year's just ticking by. So, a little bit of Death of the Author news so far. Upcoming reviews so far that we kind of have popping around is our Inheritance review, where we discuss Christopher Paolini's last book.
I gesture a lot, and I scream a lot, and I break down a little bit. It's kind of fun.
Yep. And I'm just like, well, it's not so bad, and then she has a meltdown.
Yeah.
We also did a book swap, so 2 parts. I gave her my favorite book called Passage Home or The Wayward Tide. It has 2 titles by Alison Maglier. And she gave me The Brothers Cabal by Jonathan L. Howard.
I love that book.
I know you do.
I'm still finishing rereading it. I couldn't stop myself.
Yeah. So those will be up online very, very shortly. We will be reading, because we actually got some ARC copies. Woohoo! Thank you, publishers! We have Princess of Thorns by Stacey J., which actually I think came out January 13th this year. So we will be reading that as soon as possible. And also The Seeker by Arwen Ellis Dayton. I feel like that comes out February 12th. Do not quote me on that one. But
I really wanted that one.
You did. She texted me and she was like, can you request this book from the publisher? And I was like, sure, I already did. And then a few days later, what pops up? So, we were super excited for those, and reviews will be coming soon.
Alright, so on the 21st, there is The Prey by Tom Isbell. And on the 27th, we have A Cold Hand of Legacy by Megan...
I think it's Shepherd.
Shepherd?
Yeah.
I Was Here by Gail Foreman. And Playlist for the Dead by Michelle. Last name is cut off. I believe this... Is this the sequel to Love Letters to the Dead? Or is that something completely different?
I think that's something completely different.
Okay. Well, The Playlist for the Dead.
Funny story, all 3 of those books are about suicide.
How's that a funny story?
I don't know. I was just like, oh, what's this one about? Wait, that's pretty depressing. What about this one? Is this one happier? Nope. Suicide too.
I guess that's
I think it's
a theme? Is that our theme?
I think it's the running theme for 2015.
That's fun.
I encountered 3 more as I was searching through stuff that's going to be published in 2015.
Alright, so on to our featured book. We have The Prey by Tom Isbell. Omega, they called the day. The end of the end. One enormous burst of electromagnetic radiation and everything was fried to a crisp. Okay, I've been sold. Sometime after Omega, the new government... Wait, I thought the world just ended. What?
There's a new government.
The Republic of the True America established settlement camps for the survivors. At the camp, these 16-year-old LTs, most with birth defects from radiation, are eager to graduate as part of the rite. Until they learn the dark truth. LTs doesn't stand for lieutenants, but less-thans, feared by society and raised to be hunted for sport. Whoa! They escape and join forces with the sisters, twin girls who've suffered their own haunting fate. Together they seek the fabled utopia called the New Territory, with sadistic hunters hot on their trail. An unlikely hero, Book, and fearless Hope lead them in their quest for freedom. These orphan teens must find the best in themselves to fight the worst in their enemies. Riveting action, intense romance, and gripping emotion makes this one of those thrilling standout debuts. What did I just read?
I don't know. It seems like it's going one way, and then it just completely goes another way, doesn't it? You're like, oh, this sounds familiar. No, it doesn't.
It's like Z for Zachariah mixed with Battle Royale with a little bit of the Hunger Games And what's the movie where they hunt people for sport?
Oh. It was a book. Can't remember what it's called, though. Or it was a short story, sorry. But I know what you mean.
Yeah, so
It's
that's
like-
what that felt like.
Yeah. It sounds kind of interesting, though. Like...
Yeah, it does. I mean, I'll read it, but whoa!
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
So, we have a whole bunch of lists for discussion today. Lists, because lists make life better. That is what I think.
Okay.
Our first list that has no theme, just stuff we wanted, is books we're looking forward to. A last minute entry for me because I was on Goodreads just kind of bopping around. I'm like, oh, I've been reading this book. What's going on? And I'm like, oh, there's a fourth one coming out. So anyways, I finally picked up The Lies of Locke Lamora. I'm not done it yet, but I've been loving it. And I found out the fourth one is coming out sometime this year, called The Thorn of Emberlane.
Woo!
So I'm excited for that. And I don't want to know what it's about, so I'm not going to tell you, because I'm only on the first one.
Okay, well, a lot of sequels and on the list this year. So first on the list is Lair of Dreams, and this is The Diviner's Book 2 by Libba Bray, and it's coming out July 7th, 2015. I am so excited, which I feel like is something I'm going to be saying a lot on this list.
I am praying that it is at BookCon. I would die of happiness. Just keel over.
Alright, after a supernatural showdown with a serial killer, best sentence ever, Evie O'Neill has outed herself as a diviner. Now that the world knows of her ability to read objects and therefore read the past, she has become a media darling and earned the title of America's Sweetheart Seer. But not everyone is so accepting of the diviner's abilities. Meanwhile, mysterious deaths have been turning up in the city, victims of an unknown sleeping sickness. Can the diviners descend into the dream world and catch a killer?
Yes, they can. Because they are awesome.
I'm so excited. I love Libba Bray.
Oh, just so excited. Next book on our list is actually the end of a trilogy, I think. Don't quote me on that, because every time I say that there's a fourth book. But it is The Shadow Cabinet by Maureen Johnson from the series Shades of London. And that comes out very, very soon, February 10th, 2015. Rory and her friends are reeling from a series of sudden and tragic events. While racked with grief, Rory tries to determine if she acted in time to save a member of the squad. If she did, how do you find a ghost? Also, Rory's classmate Charlotte has been kidnapped by Jane and her nefarious organization. Evidence is uncovered of a 40-year-old cult, 10 missing teenagers, and a likely mass murder. Everything indicates that Charlotte's in danger, and it seems that something much bigger and more terrible is coming. Time is running out as Rory fights to find her friends, and the Ghost Squad struggles to stop Jane from unleashing her spectral nightmare on the city. In the process, they'll discover that the existence of an organization that underpins London itself, and Rory will learn someone she trusts has been keeping a tremendous secret. Bum, bum, bum.
I'm excited.
You know,
I feel like I'm going to have to reread the other books.
I haven't actually read what the back, what's going on in this book, so that was a complete surprise to me. Now I'm like, I wanted even more. I don't know, I was just never bothered because I was like, well, I know what it's going to be about. It's going to be the continuation of the other two, but...
Well, that's part of the reason why I never read the summaries you give to me for the featured book, because I feel like my reaction is always better when I don't know what's coming. Alright, next on the list is A Book of Spirits and Thieves, which is the first book of Spirits and Thieves by Morgan Rhodes, and it's coming out June 23rd, 2015. Modern Day Toronto, a heavy leather-bound book written in an unrecognizable language, is delivered to the Speckled Muse, the antique bookshop owned by Crystal and Becca Hatcher's mother. When Becca opens it, she's sent into a coma, leaving Chris behind to uncover a series of terrifying secrets. Ancient Mythica, a merciless goddess hunts for the elusive treasure that will make her ruler not only of Mythica, but of all the unseen worlds that lay beyond it. Modern Day Toronto, rich and aimless Farrell Grayson finally has the chance to prove himself when the mysterious leader of a powerful secret society invites him into his fold. Ancient Mythica, Maddox Corso has always been different, but never remarkable. Everything changes the day he meets a pretty, unfamiliar girl from a faraway land, only to realize that he's the only one who can see her.
Da-da-da!
I don't know how I feel.
Modern day Toronto, come on.
Modern day Toronto. Ancient Mythica.
I feel like the copy for the back of the book is actually just bad.
I felt like I should have done an even more dramatic reading of that. But I didn't.
It felt like a newscast.
Yeah, it did.
It sounds like it could be really cool. Like,
yeah.
I mean, the combination of our world and this fantasy world that we've kind of gotten to know could be really, really awesome, as long as they don't keep presenting it like
Ancient Mythica,
modern day Toronto.
I can see this as a book. I can see this as a trailer.
So, and then there is The Copper Gauntlet by Cassandra Clare and Holly Black, which is coming out sometime in 2015. Maybe tomorrow, could be, next Christmas. I don't even know.
I'm so excited. This is the second book in the Magisterium series, following up on The Iron Trial.
I mean, there's no details posted, so it's obviously not going to be soon. Since the first one came out, it was like September 10th. I feel like that was the date. That's probably about when they'll release this one.
Probably.
Mm-hmm. And the last on our list.
Welcome to Night Vale by Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Craner.
If you have not been listening to this podcast and you have some time you want to kill, this is a podcast for you to listen to. Alexandra got me started on it, and I have time to kill at work, so that is what I listened to, and I managed to catch up in like a couple months.
And so they're releasing a book sometime in 2015.
Night Vale is very, very strange. It's got its own weird atmosphere, its own sense of humor. It probably wouldn't make sense to anyone who didn't listen to the podcast. I mean, like, just phrases like, don't go into the dog park, no dogs allowed in the dog park, or just random things like that.
I have the Night Vale flask. It's like the most amazing thing ever. It says on it, if you see something, say nothing and drink to forget.
Which is literally the most awesome thing you could ever have on a flask, ever. At any point in given history.
Yeah.
So, I recommend start now, start the podcast. It's friggin' hilarious. It's like a radio newscast of this weird town. Like, just weird, with a capital W. And, it is worth your time. But they are releasing a book. Sometime in 2015. I don't know where. I think Harper is publishing it. Oh yeah. That was our first list. Woo! First list of 2015. Ha ha ha. Okay, next list we have is upcoming sequels. Some of these we've mentioned, some of them we've not. Okay, so there's The Shadow Cabinet by Maureen Johnson, which is coming out February 10th. Then there is Shadow Study by Maria Snyder. This is a continuation of a series I started reading. The first one was Poison Study. I think there's like Magic Study and Fire Study. Those are the three books in the series so far. It's been really good.
I'm sorry, I'm just distracted by something further down the list, but continue.
It's been really, really good. And I suggest that if you haven't read those books, go pick it up, because there's another one out in the series. Go for it.
Next on the list is Half Wild by Sally Green, and it's coming out March 24th. I believe this is the sequel to Half Bad.
Yes.
Which is a book that I've been meaning to read, but haven't.
Yeah. Lair of Dreams by Libba Bray, as we mentioned, April 14th.
Trial of Cheers by Josephine Angelini, September 1st.
Which is the sequel to Trial by Fire, which came out around the same time last year.
Okay, so this is what I've been staring at. The Rose Society by Marie Lu, October 6th. I don't think I'm ready for this. I think I could have had this book. There would be a little bit more time between these two books. I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can.
This is the sequel to Young Elites, which has
blown my mind.
It was so dark. So dark. I'm not sure we've recovered yet. But that is coming out this year if you loved Young Elites and you were super excited for it. It's, very, very short wait.
Oh, The Copper Gauntlet, as we mentioned, by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare. And
possibly The Raven Cycle #4. Right now it's called Untitled on Goodreads.
by Maggie Stiefvater.
It says 2015. I don't know if it's a lie. It could easily get pushed back. But we're gonna keep our fingers crossed because I don't even know. Just...
You need it now.
yes.
Alright. And the next list, the teen movie adaptations.
Woohoo!
Oh boy.
So, first on our list is Insurgent, coming out March 20th. March!
That's 2 months away, oh my goodness.
Yeah. They really got that movie out fast.
Yeah, it made a lot of money.
Did it?
Gotta, like, jump on the trends before the trends die.
They did well, though. Like, they did it...
Yeah, I like Divergent.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they've been really hitting the nail on the head with their teen fiction adaptations.
Lately.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Because, like, look at... There's the Scorch Trials coming out
Mhm.
in September. And
I didn't think that the Maze Runner did well enough to...
No, but apparently it did.
Huh.
So, there you go.
Alright, next on the list is one that is going to possibly wreck me, which is Z for Zachariah. It comes out April 16th. I believe Chris Pine stars in it. And
Yes.
this book gave me nightmares when I was in school. My class, it was a class project, we read it. I think I was in grade 8. It was my first real post-apocalyptic, like real apocalypse, like nuclear holocaust apocalypse book. And that book messed with me. I remember really, really liking it when I started it, because, you know, it's about a little girl and she's surviving and she's managed to keep this farm going. And I always liked those kind of, like, narratives about kids who could take care of themselves. And then it all goes down to hell.
What happened, Alexander?
So as you can guess, this is post-apocalyptic. Her entire family went off to figure out what happened. They never come back, so she's keeping the farm going to survive. And this dude shows up in this, like, green hazmat suit, and she doesn't want him to know she's there because she doesn't know she can trust him. And so he's doing all of his stuff, and he's living in the house, she's living in the woods, like she's abandoned the house, and he goes swimming in a radiation-filled stream, and so she has to save him. And she starts out nice, because, you know, a friend, but then things get dark. And that's all I'm going to say about that subject.
Okay. So, sounds fun.
Very fun.
Next is probably one of your favorites of the year, Paper Towns.
I liked Paper Towns.
It's June 5th, which is pretty much when the last John Green movie came out.
Mhm.
Yeah, look at that. They're cute. They're on schedules, these people.
Yep.
They know their dates. So that'll be fun for all those nerd fighters out there. I have not read Paper Towns.
Really?
Yeah, it's on my list. And then there's Goosebumps, which I am strangely excited for.
I am so excited for this.
I mean, Jack Black as R.L. Stein. That sounds amazing. Just amazing.
I remember watching the Goosebumps TV show
I could watch it.
and getting nightmares for months.
I never watched it, really. It was one of those shows that I'd be at, like, a friend's house and they'd have it on and I'd be like, I don't want to watch this. But one episode I do remember watching, as I was waiting for Mother to finish talking so that we could leave, is, there was, like, this green blob on a plane.
There is an episode called No Hair, and the villain is played by Colin Mockery.
Oh, can we watch that later, please?
Yes, we can. I believe they're all on Netflix.
Oh my
So,
god.
Yeah, I loved the books as a kid, even though they gave me nightmares. My favorite were the Choose Your Own Adventure ones, because I'd always get myself into really bad situations.
On purpose?
No, I'd be playing it safe, and
Somehow would die.
yeah.
Oh.
So I'm pumped for that. It's like a general adaptation. They're bringing in a whole bunch of different stories, and I'm excited.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah. I think that's the best way to do it. Like I mentioned, The Scorch Trials, sequel to The Maze Runner, September 18th, that comes out. And last but not least,
Mockingjay Part 2 on November 20th.
yeah,
Whew, and then we're done.
Yeah, and then it's gonna be a crazy, crazy, crazy 2016 if all goes to plan. But nobody quote me on that one.
So we do have 2 honorable mentions.
Yes.
First one is Dark Places, which is an adaptation of a Gillian Flynn novel of the same name. And I was I was on a blog, and I was just like, oh yeah, by the way, this is happening. And it has Charlize Theron, Christina Hendricks, Nicholas Hoult, and Chloe Grace Moretz starring.
It sounds really interesting. The brief summary is a woman whose parents were murdered as a child is our heroine, more or less. She testifies and helps send her own brother away for the crime. Then, 25 years later, with the help of a murder-obsessed group of amateur detectives called the Kill Club, she begins to investigate the crime again. But 2015 sometime. Nicholas Hoult. Oh my gosh. He's in the Mad Max, eh?
Yeah, is he?
Yeah. He's like one of the villains or whatever. And I was like,
man.
oh my god, he looks like the zombies again. And I started dying.
And then, of course, last honorable mention is Frankenstein, starring Daniel Radcliffe. It's going to be out October 2nd, 2015, with Dan Rad, James McAvoy, and Jessica Brown Finlay. And Dan Rad is actually playing Igor.
Really?
And they're billing this as an adaptation of the book, which turns my stomach a little bit because there's no Igor in the
book.
So it looks like it's going to just be an adaptation of the Frankenstein mythos.
Yeah.
More than anything, but woo!
Could be fun.
Could be fun.
So yeah, it looks like it's going to be an action-packed 2015 full of stuff we've been waiting for. I know I'm excited for Bia. That is my goal for the year.
I think you mentioned that you're excited for Bia every podcast.
I think so, but that's just how excited I really, really am. We should find another word for excited. I feel like we use it a lot. Anyways, tons of stuff to look forward to. Stuff that is probably just going to jump out at us that we haven't been paying attention to, but have actually been waiting for it. You'll hear about those as they come up. But, yes.
Until then,
we will see you guys later. If you haven't been enjoying this podcast, please give it a review on iTunes. Also, you can find us on Twitter at DVA Reviews or at Zeries Loki. We also have a website where we post blogs, our reviews, and just general news updates. That's www.doftheA.com. And yes, that is pretty much everywhere you can find us.
Alright, so, till next time. Bye, guys!
Bye, guys.